Hey, what's going on? Sean here. I figured we would do this video vlog style today when I'm out and about, but I just want to get right into it. What is making a living as a musician? Well, I guess that's making your sole income from music-derived income sources, right? So, making a living is highly subjective. And by that I mean, if you're single and you're riding cruise ships and you're playing music on cruise ships, you might make $25,000, $30,000 a year, and you might be perfectly fine because all of your expenses are taken care of. Your room and board, your food, you're good. In my case, when I first started out, I was making about that $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a year, but it was the early '90s, and I didn't have much expenses. I wasn't married, didn't have kids. At other times when I was single, I was traveling the world, living over in Europe, playing music based out of Scandinavia, doing some cruise ships over there, DFDS lines, Tallink, Cilia, Viking lines, things like that over in the Baltic and North Sea and Scandinavia. And I would work 6 months and make about 30 grand. And that's what I would take home. And then I would just take 6 months off and travel or whatever, you know. I mean, I didn't have any bills at all. So, you know, that was good money. I had enough money to do whatever I wanted on. So when I say make a living, I mean make a living, which means meet your expenses. Now I'm older, I have kids, I'm married, and I've been able to meet my expenses since I moved back to Florida the end of 2014. I would say by 2015, I was doing it again. My primary income is, as far as live, is I play solo acoustic at resorts on the water from South Florida up through the Space Coast. That's my primary income. I also do some corporate events. I also do some wedding stuff, and I have tribute band as well. And that's what I'm doing right now for music. At other times, I did other things. Now, if you want to get into making a living from your own music, or how to be your own artist, or anything that making a living from your own creative endeavors, that's a whole different section. We're going to delve into that, but that's a whole different thing. If we're talking about just making a living, we're talking about mostly playing popular tunes, cover tunes. Now, to do that, I would say first and foremost, you have to be competent on your instrument. And you have to be able to perform at the most wide variety of venues that you can do. So that means playing and singing, I would say. That's not to say you can't make a living as a concert pianist or an accompanist, things like that. I have a buddy of mine whose wife is a concert level pianist. She does concerts. She's played Carnegie Hall, and she teaches and stuff. So obviously teaching is the first way you can make a living. Besides teaching, we're talking about performing. So the first thing is get competent on your instrument. The second thing is learn to sing. You hear me? Learn to sing. Sing. Singing's important. So if you get competent on your instrument, you can accompany yourself vocally, and I'm talking about sing. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, I'm talking about sing. You know, like wah! You know, you get to the point where you can sing well, you're gonna have a gig. It's that simple. If you can play well and sing well and play solo, you're gonna have the most wide variety of gigs, and that's where the money's at. The money's pretty much stayed the same in bands since the 70s. It's been $100 a night, $150 a night, and that could buy you a lot. You know, in the late 80s when I started, it buys you nothing now. We could talk about the money, we'll get into that, but so you want to be able to play solo, you want to be good on your instrument, play a wide variety of popular tunes, and you want to be able to sing. Location's important. I currently live in Florida, and I believe that there's more gigs here all around the state on the water. Not Orlando, the corporate market, notwithstanding it may or may come back after the whole pandemic thing. The wedding scene in Miami and the Keys, the private events. I mean, there's just more happening here, I think, as far as live performance goes than any other place I'm aware of at the moment. So performing solo, singing, you have to know your audience. It's the most important thing. Who are you playing for? I mean, what's the age range? So if you know the age range of your audience, then you're going to know the material to play. you're not going to choose the material based on what you like. You're going to no, because I would be playing obscure singer-songwriter stuff and definitely not the stuff that we've been hearing our entire lives. You're going to choose a song list based on what's popular, based on what your demographic that you play for listens to. And so, that takes a little bit of research, that takes a little bit of knowledge. We're going to go into that on this channel as well. You might be playing weddings, but you have to know songs from today through things that are going to appeal to somebody 80 years old. So you have to think about that as well. And that's the same thing for tiki bars and stuff on the beach and resorts. And you need to know your audience. You have to be able to pick a song list. And there's tried and true songs that are going to make you money. We call them money makers. I call them, they get tips, lots of them. And you should know that. And if you don't know that, you're doing yourself a disservice by playing obscure stuff that, while you might be great and you might be very competent on your instrument and people might be enthralled by you, you're still not playing the material that they really want to hear. And you'll know that after a while anyway, because you'll get requests for it. So be good on your instrument, be able to sing, know your demographic of who you're playing for, and you have to build a diverse song list. And these days, that's pretty much the Beatles through some things that are up there today. I don't personally have anything really new. Some of it comes out of Nashville, like, Tennessee whiskey and stuff like that. But for what I do, singer-songwriter, as a solo acoustic, it lends itself less to the pop tunes. If you're performing with tracks, you can pretty much do anything. That's a whole separate story too, because where you play is dependent on the type of performance you put forward, whether it's solo, piano, guitar, whether it's track stuff. So know your audience, be able to sing, be able to play, have a good song list. Like I said, it's location dependent. But I believe anywhere you live, you'll be able to make money. You might have to tour, or you might have to travel a little bit. You need to have the gear to cover the gigs as well. So depending on the format you play in, whether it's a duo, whether it's solo, whether it's acoustic, whether it's tracks, have the PA equipment and the professional gear that can put that product out in a professional manner. If you've got tracks, you've got full range stuff behind you, you're going to want to have a little sub so people can hear the bass. You probably want to have more than that if you're going to play bigger venues or larger venues, let's say, where you need to fill things out like a wedding or a corporate event. Although mostly corporate events want you kind of silent, but that's a whole separate story. For today, you need to know how to sing, you need to know how to play, you got to know your song list. I think it's location dependent. You need to be in a place where you can where there are gigs. So some of the opportunities out there are playing local pubs, parties, got coffee houses, things like that. For me, it's resorts on the beach, tiki bars, things like that. Second area is the private events arena, and that's a very specific thing, which involves agents, promo videos. Again, we'll get into that. We're going to get into promo videos, EPKs, and things like that. Other means of making a living is you can create a wedding business, and that's a big business, man. Wedding and private events, wedding wire, the knot. Again, you're going to need a promo video. You're going to need professional pictures, cards, things like that. Those things are important. So I think if you combine, also, you can start a band as well, or a small duo, something that can project what you do out to a wider degree, which will only broaden your audience, your reach. You want to broaden your reach as much as possible. So if you have a small band and you can play some events, weddings, pubs, you play solo because there's more gigs available for solo, those are going to be your opportunities. Private events, weddings, pubs, parties, resorts, corporate events. If you combine all those, and you're smart and you're savvy and you've got a song list and you can sing and you can play and you've got a good product, you've got good promo video, you've got good pictures, cards, a professional website is important as well. Something that shows your dates, maybe a Facebook page, something up on Gig Masters or Wedding Wire the Knot, All those things combined. And then you got to go knock on doors. You got to email EPKs. If they don't respond to you, you got to go there and you got to give them your card, or you take a little promo pack with a DVD. Whatever you got to do, you do it. You get out there and you build your reputation. And then the last thing is, once you are gigging, you got to promote yourself while you're on stage. And gigs beget gigs. And by that, I mean, the more you play, the more opportunities are going to come to you. More people are going to ask you to play weddings and parties. More club owners or managers or venue owners are going to hear of you. So that when you call them, they're like, oh, yeah, we've heard of you, Sean. We're like, yeah, we heard you good. Boom, here's a date. So that's pretty much it for now. That's how you make a living as a popular song stylist or a musician that plays other people's music. And that's not to say you can't pepper your own music in there. And that's not to say you can't put out your own music and also play it, which I do. But like I said, it's a whole separate thing. Making a living solely from your own artistic endeavors. That's really difficult to do. We're definitely going to talk about some strategies and how to do that on this channel. How to put your best foot forward to make that happen. But if you want to make a living at music, you absolutely can. So don't let anybody tell you you can't. You can make a professional person's level of income as a musician. It's just, you need to know what you're doing. So we're going to talk about a lot of things on this channel. We're going to get into a myriad of stuff. I can't wait to get there. This little blog style with my phone. We'll do some other things that are lit in studio and stuff. I hope you found some value in this video, and there's a lot more to come. So please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.